Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give a call out to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world calls God. And Yahushua is the name of his only begotten Son, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ. First, I want to give a strong shalom to all the mighty men. They're going out there, they're laboring. They're presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice. They're doing all they can to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And during the elements, the 100-degree weathers, the freezing below codes, and everything that's trying to hinder the work of the Most High, shalom, shalom. I want to give another strong shalom to the Aqua, the sisters that are at home. They're reverencing their husbands, being teachers of good things, and the unmarried sisters as well, being tender, delicate, and on fire for the Most High God, shalom, shalom. I want to give, last but not least, another strong shalom to all the mighty teenagers and children in this truth, doing all they can to make their calling and election sure in the last days. By the topic of this cold cut is titled, No Distractions, No Days Off, and Spiritual Grind Time. Alright, no distractions, no days off, and spiritual grind time. Why? Because it's a lot of distractions in the last days, man. Alright? It's a lot of spirits that's trying to hinder your mind from focusing on the Most High God, from increasing, man, from reaching to your full potential. It's spirits that's literally trying to get your mind away from the Most High God, to depart from righteousness, right? To pursue evil, to be slothful, to be lazy, to not get things done. And if you're being distracted and you having distractions, that's going to stop you spiritually from growing, man. It's impossible to grow if you have distractions, right? So you have to be able to identify these things, know what's going on, know what's distracting, and you can't deal with it. Again, there's no distractions, man. Distractions could get you killed. Distractions could have you miss out on the kingdom of the Most High. Distractions could stop you from accomplishing life goals. You know how many people didn't accomplish the goals that they wanted to accomplish in life because of the distraction? Whether that was children, a woman, their job, their family, right? An accident, anything, all of these different things have stopped these men from accomplishing their goals due to what? One distraction. How much more for the children of Israel? How much more for the brothers and sisters that's chosen, that's woken up to this truth and striving for righteousness? Life is about with life is gonna come distractions, but it's about how do you handle them and move them to the side. Let me kick it off with the book of 1 Corinthians. Alright. Let me kick it off with the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Alright, it's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse number 35. Right? 1 Corinthians 7 and 35. And it reads, And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction. Now, in context, this is going into Paul's teaching on marriage, certain things to go about, how a man, if he wants to hold back his daughter from marriage. But the point is, and that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction. That's the goal. To attend upon the Most High holy, with no distractions at all. But guess what? This is reality. You're going to have distractions. You're going to have things that's going to literally try to triumph and exalt itself over the knowledge of Yahushua, man. Over the knowledge of this truth. It's how you handle it. You might fall victim to the distraction. Next thing you know, 2 hours go by. 3 hours go by. No praying in, no fasting, no studying or reading. Whatever that you might be accurate. It's a lot of things that could be a distraction. Like we said, A lot of Jakes, your distraction is a woman, man. Eve, your wife could be a distraction, right? Jobs, your work, the place. Maybe that's your distraction. It's stopping you from moving forward spiritually, from getting things done spiritually, right? Maybe it's the things that you watch, right? Your cell phone, that might be a distraction. Guess what? It might be your children and their wickedness. It might be your family. They might be a distraction. It's many-fold distractions on the earth. Video games, the people you hang around. I was just meditating on that earlier. If I continue to, and I was thinking to myself, if I continue to hang around the people that I was hanging around in the world, it's impossible to be where I'm at right now. It's impossible. They're too much of a distraction. I influence peer pressure, right? You and your homies, y'all just doing this, that, and the third, and all hell is breaking loose. It's many things that could be a distraction, man. Materialistic things, jewelry, money, gold, whatever that's distracting you, you have to find that out, and you have to literally do away with it. You have to lay that to the side and keep walking. That's Hebrew. Let me get that in Hebrews real fast. In Hebrews chapter 12. It's the book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse number 3. And it reads, I'm going to start at verse 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. So this truth is a race, man. You're running. It was an old clip of this man. He was running in a race. He was running fast, finna hit the finish line. Then he was looking at himself on a jumbo screen. It stopped him. He tripped and fell over and he lost the race. All because of what? A distraction. What was this distraction for him? The jumbo screen. Him looking at himself, getting caught up. His mind should have been focused on finishing the race. But he got distracted. And it cost him what? A trophy. So whatever that's besetting you so easily, the Lord said, just lay it aside. Put it to the side. Is it really worth it? Is that distraction really worth you not growing spiritually with the Most High God? Is it really worth that? As a nation, we got to get our priorities together. We have to prioritize growth, abundance, health, good estate, mentally, spiritually, well-being, right? What are the things that's going to have us stop? And it's really only for what? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, whatever it is that distracts you. It's not worth to what's the reward that's going to be in the long run. Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10. Right? It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, and verse number 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations. And that's what you have to do. A lot of men, you don't cast down your thoughts. You just meditate on folly, let it linger on your mind. Hey, the Lord said, hey, the distraction, I'm going to cast that down, man. You got to cast that down. And every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God. You're going to have things in your life that's going to exalt itself over this truth, man. Right? That's going to try to override your life of righteousness. That's going to try to override your well-being. But you have to what? Reading on. And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. All of the distractions, man, the things that's hindering you, you have to bring that into the obedience of Christ. How do you do that? By the precepts, mainly. Through prayer, fasting, studying, but really through the precepts and rebuke. right? And saying no. And stop saying yes to the distractions. Like we said earlier, distractions could get you killed. Distractions could literally have you miss out on what the Most High has prepared for you in the future. Right? And literally you will learn that from experience. Whether that's an elder, he might tell you, hey, don't do this. It's going to affect you in the long run. Don't do this, sister. Right? Or cut this off. It's going to affect you in the long run. How are you handling your distractions? Let's go to the book of... Ain't that precept, right? Slovakia. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 5. That's what I wanted. Right? Let's go to the book of Matthew, the 5th chapter. This is Matthew chapter 5 and verse number 29. Right? We bring this out a lot. It reads, and if thy right hand offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. And if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. So your right hand represents your strength. Your hand represents your works, right? Whatever that's stopping you, and you know what it is. Everybody's different. We don't have to say, hold on, all right, list what's distracting you. No, you know yourself better than anybody else do. You know what's distracting you. You know what's taking up too much of your time. You know what's stopping you from growing spiritually. You know what it is. So once you identify it, you now have to put it to work. Or else you're going to have your whole body perish because you didn't want to cut off one member. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth your life being taken away than you staying alive and just cutting off your hand? And now cutting off your hand, it might hurt. Nobody's not saying, you got a lot of brothers saying, what is he talking about? I'm not cutting off my right. That will hurt. I will bleed. I could die from that. Do you not know that cutting off your right hand hurt? We didn't say it didn't hurt. Do you know not cutting off your eye, plucking out your eye, it might hurt? Your feet, your knees, whatever members that stop you, we not saying that it's not going to hurt. It is going to hurt. But guess what? Are you willing to make that sacrifice? That's where sacrifice come in. Everybody's not built for a sacrifice. But who's going to be that man or that woman or the Lord to make that sacrifice for the Most High God? And the Lord is going to reward you. Let's go to the book of Luke chapter 12. Right? It's the book of Luke chapter 12 and verse number 34. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Wherever your treasure is, a lot of people, their treasure is on their distractions. That's what they're thinking about, their distractions. Whether that's Netflix, it might be parties, right? Going to the mall, going to the bar, having drinks. Alcohol might be their distraction. Weed, slothfulness, lust, lack of doing something, lack of diligence towards something. But guess what? The Lord said wherever your heart is, it's like wherever your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Your treasures want to be laid up in the heavens, man. Didn't the Lord tell, let me get that real fast. The Lord told that man that in Matthew chapter 19. This is Matthew chapter 19 and verse number 21. And Yahushua said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. This man's possessions stopped him from having treasure in heaven. So you know where this man's treasure was. His treasure was on the earth. So guess where you think his heart would be? On the earth. On his treasures. On his riches. Not even knowing that the Lord on the sudden could take that away from him. And he wasn't able to follow the Lord because his heart wasn't right. He had a distraction on it. It was something distracting him on his mind, man. Right? Like Lot's wife, man. She got distracted. Whatever it was. And that's deep. Right? And we could get an in-depth vision from the Most High. Man, that would be beautiful. That would be spectacular. To actually see what caused Lot's wife to look back. All we know is she looked back. She got distracted. But what caused her? Maybe she was reminiscing on Sodom and Gomorrah. She wanted to just get one last look before the Lord destroys her. Maybe it was the amount of wealth she had in. Because Sodom and Gomorrah, you go into it a lot. He was very wealthy, man. She could have had businesses there. All right. God knows what she could have had there. Maybe it was the memories she had there. We don't know. But what we do know is she got distracted and she looked back and that was it for her. She got destroyed, man. She became a pillar of salt. The Lord wasn't dealing with that. Right? So you do not, no distractions. That's the topic of this cold cut. No distractions. Right? We in operate, no distractions, man. We're not dealing with them. All right? We in a season of no distractions. Let's go to the book of, right? Matthew chapter 6. Right? Let's go to the book of Matthew, the 6th chapter. Right, it's the book of Matthew chapter 6 and verse number 33, the classic. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. You first have to seek the kingdom of the Most High, man. That's to be the first thing and only thing you seeking. Everything else gonna fall into its place. But when you're not seeking the kingdom, when you being distracted, and you have to watch for these distractions as well. Don't look out for them. You got to be a watchman on a spiritual level. Everything has to be watched. I'm watching everything. I'm watching spirits. Everything is being watched, man. Okay, I can't. That's finna be a distraction. No, let me go somewhere else. Let me go in my car and pray. All right. Hey, Jake was trying to talk to me early at the workplace, and he said some lewd off things, and I'm thinking in my head, this is a distraction. I know what I got to do when I get home. This is a distraction trying to take my mind away from thinking upon the precepts and the Most High. So you got to watch. And again, a distraction could be anybody. A brother in your congregation, he could be a distraction. Again, your wife, she could be a distraction to you. Your children, your job, your hobbies that you like doing. Working out, that could be a distraction. Video games, right? Whatever you do, singing could be whatever you do. All right, might like going bowling. That could be a distraction. You have to watch out for these distractions and say what? No distractions. We're not dealing with that, right? We're not dealing with that. Let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. Right. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verse number 11. It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verse number 11, and it reads, wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. So instead of setting your affection on the things on this earth, on your distractions, the things that's stopping you spiritually from growing, you have to accept your affection on these words. You have to set your affection on things that's going to benefit you. Chiefly the precepts, right? And the precepts get overlooked, man. The precepts is deep. The precepts keep you from evil, right? And if you know how to use the precepts as well, man, you could be unstoppable through the Spirit, right? And if you don't know the precepts, guess what? You could get caught out there, right? You could get caught out there, and you don't want to be caught out there. It's not a good feeling, right? You could be caught out there. The point is, the Lord says, set your affection on my words. We read, don't attend upon the Lord without distraction. Whatever is hindering you, cut it off. Stop it. Move it to the side. Because if not, you're going to literally start drifting off, and you're not going to be on a straight and narrow path. Again, this is a straight and narrow path, man. It's very narrow. A lot of people can't fit in at once. But wide is the gate that leadeth to destruction. That's Matthew chapter 7 and 13. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 4. It's like a Proverbs chapter 4 and verse number 23. Right? Proverbs 4 and 23, and it reads, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Put away from thee a forward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee. Let thy eyes look right on, and let thy eyelids look straight before thee. Again, you have to, I can't stop bringing up that man who lost the race, man. All because he got distracted, tripped and fell. Guess what? What happened to Holofernes in Judith chapter 13, right? In the book of Judith, period. He got distracted by the beauty of a woman, right? Turn a beauty, none else could turn his head but Judith's beauty, right? So, and guess what? That caused him to get killed. David, 2 Samuel the 11th chapter, he got distracted. Saul, he got distracted. It's many accounts of men being distracted, man. And the reward in the end cost them their life. Read it on. So your eyelids have to look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. You have to go straight. Don't go to the left. Don't go to the right. Don't let anything stray you off from the straight and narrow path. And I mean anything. You got certain brothers letting their dog straight them off, man. Oh, gotta take my dog to the vet. Gotta spend time with my dog. Right? You took your dog to a dog amusement park for 4 hours. Brother, what are you doing? Are you in the spirit? Have you prayed? Have you really gotten into this thing? Let's go to the book of Genesis. Right? Let's go to the book of Genesis chapter 19. Actually, let's go to Genesis chapter 34. All right. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 34, and verse number 1. Genesis chapter 34, and verse number 1, and it reads, and Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. So Dinah, she was cooling, man. Sitting back, probably in the house, but she got distracted. And what did she do? She went to go see the daughters of the other nations, man. What are you doing seeing the daughters of the other nations for? Thought it states in Titus, the 2nd chapter, for the aged woman likewise that they become in holiness, not false accusers, not giving to too much wine. Teachers at home, teachers of good things, right? So you have to be a what? Keeper at home. Dinah, she got distracted. For God knows what? She got distracted and she went out to see the daughters of the land, meaning the daughters of the other nations. See what happened. Verse 2, and when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. So what happened to Dinah? She got raped, right? All because she got distracted by the daughters of the land, meaning the daughters of the other nations. So manyfold bad, horrible things can happen to you from a distraction. And you could fall off the truth to the distraction, man. The Lord could take the spirit away from you. You could feel the spirit slowly leaving from you. You're not the same anymore. You're bugged out now in your mind, thinking that the Lord is dealing with you. All the time, the Lord been stopped dealing with you. All because of your distractions. Imagine that. So what's the goal? To focus and attend upon the things of the Lord. You got to be 100%, right? Let me get that in Deuteronomy chapter 18. What I come to realize through experience, it's no 98.8% in the truth. We're just going to tell you this right now, right? There's no 98.8% in the truth. It's not 99.9% in the truth. It's what? 100%. If you're not giving 100% locked in, guess what? You're going to find yourself at variance. It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse number 13. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. That's playing upon tables. The Lord said, thou shalt be perfect, complete, whole. Anything less than perfection, the Lord isn't dealing with. The Lord told Abraham at 99 years old in Genesis chapter 17 and 1 to what? Follow me and be perfect. Abraham couldn't say, but Lord, I'm in the flesh, right? I got these different distractions. I got this. I can't really move this to the side. Hey, Abraham did what the Lord said, right? He followed the Lord and he was perfect with him. So that's what guess what? Everybody can't handle that. Everybody said, no, you're over righteous, right? What do you mean go 100%? What do you mean do this? What do you mean go as hard as you can? And it's what the Lord said. Because if not, you're going to experience withdrawal, the negative effects, the downside of when you're not perfect, when you're not locked in, when you're not tapped in with the Most High. It's going to be made manifest. So the topic of this goal cut again was no distractions. The second part was no days off, right? No days off, right? So what you're going to come to realize is no vacations in this. You got certain brothers, they take vacations off. I just need time. You had this one brother, he said, man, I just need to go to Arizona, man. I need 2 weeks off. I just need time to clear my head. Brother came back, wasn't the same. He took 2 weeks off of the truth, came back and it wasn't the same. What you gonna come? It's no days off. This is it. The moment you came into this truth, you signed a contract that said everything that the Lord will say, I will do. Right? You signed. It's no PT. You might get PTO at your job, paid time off, certain hours you get off. And you can take a day off at your job if you want to. Certain jobs, you don't even have to come in. Just don't. If you don't want to go in, you don't got to go in. It's not so with the truth. This is every single day for the rest of your life. Until death do its part. If that's not thought out, if you haven't thought about that, if you haven't meditated on that, if you think this is just for a season, well, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. It's no days off, right? This is your life. Like Jake say in the world, he might say ball is life, right? Sneakers is life, shoes is life. Guess what? This truth is your life now, right? This is so like all of the you got Eve. So I wanted to open up a nail salon, 2 nail salon businesses, right? Well, guess what? Not saying that you can't do that, but you might have to throw that out the window. Realistically, you might have to that's over with. You can forget about that, right? Your life is now dedicated to the Most High God. It's no taking days off, kicking your feet up, and relaxing. Let's go to that in Luke the 12th chapter with the man that took days off. Right? It's the book of Luke chapter 12 and verse number 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, what? The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room to bestow my fruits. Read on. And he said, this will I do. I will pour down my barns and build greater. And there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. I would say to my soul, and you don't want to be like this man. He had an abundance of things and he didn't know what to do with it. But the fact that he had so much, this is what he said within himself. I would say to my soul, soul, thou hast much good laid up for many years. Take thy ease, eat, drink, and be merry. So this man said, guess what? I'm gonna take a day off or 2. That's another thing. You don't want to burn yourself out in this truth as well. A lot of brothers, you might come in super zealous, on fire. You just want to serve the Lord 24/7. Shaking the hand. You just rebuking everything. You're rebuking your family. You're rebuking the people at your job. You're rebuking wicked spirits on the highways and byways. You just shaking the hand at everything on fire. You're screaming out the name of the Lord. You're fasting 2 days a week, right? You're doing 2-day fast, 3-day fast, 7-day fast. You're beating upon your chest to the Lord, crying out, screaming out his name. You do that for 2 years, doing videos. But then the 3rd year, you start to get gas. Life hits you a little bit. Certain things might come your way, whether that's financially, household problems, family. Then you start to slow down. You start to lose gas because you done burnt it up so fast. That's another thing. You don't want to burn out, because when you burn out, that's another thing. You're going to want to start to take vacations. You're going to want to start to say, you know what? I did this already. I've been to every feast day. I put in my work in this truth. I magnified the name of the Lord for a good 3-4 years. I'm going to just I'm going to just stop, slow down a little bit. No, ain't no slowing down. Your foot better be on the gas, man. And if to always have that means you have to have pace and you have to have balance. Go at your own pace. Don't try to be nobody that you see. You see a brother on YouTube. Oh, man, this brother's, he's mighty. I want to be like him. Guess what? You're not him. You're you. You have to have your own connection with the Lord. You see a sister, oh, her dress is long. She has great wisdom. She's beautiful on the outside and in the inside. I'm going to be like her. No, you're you. You have to pace yourself, or else you're going to be like this. You're going to burn out. You're going to go hard for the little while. Then you're going to say like you're to this. You're going to take days off like this man did. But what did the Lord say to this man? But God said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God. So the same man that said he was going to take a day off, that same night, the Lord took the spirit from him. All it takes is 1 day. All it takes is really 3 hours. You might take a nap. You never take naps. You always make sure you're studying, come home. You might be extremely tired. All it takes is about a little nap. Just a little nap. You might say, well, hold on, it's just a nap. What's wrong with a nap? And that nap time could fly. Next thing you know, 6 hours later, you done missed your alarm for your study time. Then you brush it off. Then that becomes a habit. Next thing you know, you forget all of the precepts and you back in the world. Dealing with prostitutes and harlots. This is the book of Revelation. Chapter 3 and verse number 3. It says, remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. And it's not just talking about the day of the Lord. The Lord is always visiting people every day. The Lord could pop up on you. Just like the Lord visited that man. That's the thing. You never know when the Lord is going to visit you. You never know when the Most High is going to visit you. So with that being said, how should you really be operating? Seeing that you don't know when the Lord going to visit you. And when the Lord do visit you, you want to be like David, man. Let me bring this out in Psalms. Right? Let me bring this out in Psalms, chapter 17 and verse number 3. Hey, it's certain men, there's certain accounts. Hey, the Lord popped up on certain men, and they was confounded, man. Doing God knows what. Word got back to the brothers in the congregation. All hell break loose. Certain men, they got caught. It was a old video, right? Years ago, right? On a Watchman channel for Israel. It was this brother, he knew he was an Israelite. He was in Detroit in Greektown. He knew he was an Israelite, but he ran into the servants of the Lord. Now, you think that brother knew that the watchman, the service of the Most High God was going to be out there in Greektown that night? Right? Other brothers, they usually somewhere else, man. Out there in Detroit. Maybe at the Riverwalk. But that Shabbat, they was out there in Greektown, a.k.a. Freaktown. And guess what? The brother knew he was an Israelite, and he ran into the servants of the Lord. Then he asked him, well, Porter, hold on, brother, what are you doing out here? Where's your friends at? What are you doing? And he was speechless. He got caught out there. Why? Because he took a day off. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse number 3. It says, thou hast proved my heart. Thou hast visited me in the night. Thou hast tried me and shall find nothing. I am purposed that my mouth shall not transgress. Hey, David said, thou hast visited me in the night. But guess what, Lord? You ain't find nothing. Hey, David said with all his integrity, hey, thou hast found nothing. All right? Thou hast found nothing. And on another fold, while you taking days off, somebody else literally picking up that time that you taking off. So this truth is in comparison to a lot of things. You might have played sports in the world, right? What happens if a man, he's a top basketball player, superstar, and he takes days off? He might say, well, hold on, I could do that. I'm good. But guess what? While he's taking days off, it's an underdog somewhere else in an unknown city putting in work while he's taking off. It's a saying in the world, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. So while you taking days off, while you being distracted, while you're letting things hinder your spiritual growth, it's somebody else out there that's putting in that work, that's not being distracted, that's fully meditating on the Lord, right? That's wholly seeking him, right? Hey, I'm sorry. I can't let nobody outwork me with serving the Lord. Not that it is a competition, because, I mean, it's not a competition at the end of the day. But just the fact that somebody getting closer to the Lord than you are, that's not gonna sit with me too well. Now, a lot of men, that's going to sit with them. Well, that's, hey, we'll let the Lord find out at the end. No, if somebody getting closer to the Most High than me, I'm going to sweat. No. All right, let me put in work. Man, maybe I got to boost the fast up. Right? Maybe, let me take notes from what he's doing and incorporate to my life. That's not going to rub certain men too well. So what? You literally have to continue to work hard. You have to continue to be diligent. Most importantly, you can't take days off. Right? It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 10, and verse number 4. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse number 4. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. So you always going to have a just balance. You're going to have the man with the slack hand. You're going to have the man that's diligent. Right? Guess what? You become poor when you deal with the slack hand. That's spiritually, physically. That's on all levels. You're going to become poor. It is what it is. It's going to happen. Right? The Lord said through much slothfulness, the building decayeth. And it just takes a little bit. That's all it takes. Right? Putting in that vacation time, man. And we're not putting in vacation time. All right? Not in this truth. Right? Let me go to Proverbs chapter 12 and verse number 27. There's no days off. It says, the slothful man roasteth not that which he tooketh honey, but the substance of a diligent man is precious. So that diligent man, although he might want to take days off, right? And that's a part of going into grind season. You're going to see other people do other things, right? People in this world, they're so-called having fun, right? Going to the parties. Certain men are getting happily ever married, right? They're getting happily married. Children, right? New car, new things. Maybe got a new house, blowing up, social status. Right? Everybody's rejoicing, man. Right? Everybody's teeing up. And you just in a house. Right? Sad. Why can't I do what they want to do? You shouldn't have that mindset, man. Guess what? Hey, we want to stay at home, man. Right? Hey, it's certain brothers, they have to tell me to get out the house. They said, man, you need to get out that room, man. Right? That's what my dad, he say, hey, you need to get out of that Bible. You've been in there too long. You've been in the room too long. Go outside, get some fresh air. You want to have that mentality while everybody's rejoicing. You're putting in work for the Most High. And work, and work, and work, and work. And it's non-stop. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 25 and verse number 10. Moreover, I would take from them the voice of mirth and voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the sound of the millstones and the light of the candle. That's what the Lord is going to do, man. The Lord is going to take the spirit of mirth from it, and it's already slowly losing it. But the Most High going to take it even more, right? The Most High going to take everything from this place. And you don't want to be caught up in it. Right? Let me go to bring this out in Luke chapter 6. This Luke chapter 6 and verse number 20. I'm going to start at 20. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, bless ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. You might be weeping now, man. Right, serving the Most High. Right, doing due diligence. But guess what? You're going to laugh later. What is that later? that's when your hard work, that's when you finally reap the benefits of your hard work. You talk to certain elders, they put in hard work for 31 plus years in the truth. 31 years in the truth of hard work, and they still haven't reaped that benefit yet. You know how great their reward is if they continue to work hard? 31 years. Certain men not even 31 years old in the truth, let alone 31 years in the truth. It's crazy. But guess what? They gonna weep. They gonna laugh later. Verse 22, blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you and cast you out as for evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in like manner they did their fathers unto the prophets. It's nothing new underneath the sun. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now. It's a lot of people laughing now. But it says what? For ye shall mourn and weep. Right? They got that song, Laugh Now and Cry Later. That goes for the truth as well. So pick what time you want. You want your stuff now, or you want it later. The choice is up to you. But again, the topic of this cold cut is no distraction, no days off, and spiritual grind time. But with that, Lord willing, this video was edifying, giving all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach Kumarak Yahushua. Continue to read, pray, fast, study. Most importantly, beseech the Heavenly Father for His mercy. That I'm going to say Shalom.